Hi, I'm Steve Mandy, and over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to be talking to you about something that could revolutionize your business, improve the sort of professional image that you project in digital marketing, and improve the perceived value of your brand. Does that sound good? I'm going to take away all the stress of wondering where your next video production is going to come from. And I'm going to do it with a process called the 6-goal strategy. It's a strategy that I've devised and tested with my own video production company, Traveling Easel. But before I tell you about the strategy, I need to tell you a little bit about myself and why it's important to me that I pass this on. And I'm going to do that in the form of a story. I'm a full-time artist, and I've been a full-time artist since 2006. So what the hell am I doing sitting here talking to you about digital marketing? Allow me to respond. In 1999, I discovered I could paint and draw accurately. It was a tremendous revelation. I mean, it really just changed my life completely. And I was just blown away by it. It's just something. One day I picked up a pen and something came out of it that I'd never seen before. As a child, if you discover you have a talent like that, it's very easy to take it for granted. But when you're 41, you say, wow, I actually need to do something with this. So I did, and you know, it would be such a shame not to. You know, it's everybody's fantasy, really, that they suddenly discover they can do something that is quite incredible. So I took it very, very seriously. Now, I was a financial advisor at the time. It's a very reputable insurance company that I really enjoyed working for. And for 7 years, I managed to juggle the two. By day, I would be in my suit, and in the evenings, I would be in my shorts and slops with paint up to my elbows. So I lived kind of two lives. And of course, as you can expect with something like that, you're going to reach a point where you have to choose. One fails because you're just trying to be two people. So I had to choose, and in 2006, I took the plunge and became a full-time artist. And I'd kind of pictured in my mind that the world would look like this. I would go to the galleries with my new offerings to replace the offerings which have been sold by the gallery. They would give me a nice check, and off I'd go and paint some more. And in reality, it is nothing like that whatsoever, particularly in the small town that I live in. So I quickly understood that I was going to have to be very creative with the way that I produced art, and I need to find alternative methods of using this talent to produce income. And one of the things I did was I teamed up with a fashion designer by the name of Kevin Ellis and painted some outstanding and remarkable, I mean, off-the-wall type paintings on clothing, which we entered into the various horse racing competitions, fashion competitions throughout the country. And in a very short space of time, we won most of the major accolades available in South Africa, and it gained popularity to the extent where in 2013 I was invited to London to show my work at Africa Fashion Week London. And in that particular event, I teamed up with a lady by the name of Brenda Quinn, and we put together a range. And you can see that range if you click on the one of the links in the description column. And when I came back, I went to Africa Fashion Week twice to show my work. And when I came back, I decided to keep the energy alive by painting live in trendy restaurants in my town, Durban. And it worked beautifully. The patrons, they loved watching me produce something remarkable, and the restaurant owners loved the atmosphere it sort of gave to the restaurants, and I loved the fact that, you know, some of the patrons would buy from me as well. You know, so it really was one hand washing two other hands. It was fantastic. And then I got the idea that people like watching paintings happening so much, I would video them. So I started videoing the paintings that I was doing in the restaurants and posting them on YouTube, and they became reasonably popular. So I thought, well, this is something. And then I got the traveling easel epiphany. I thought to myself, well, if I take my easel to different businesses, different restaurants, different types of businesses, set up my easel in their premises and did a painting which is relevant to their business, then turn that video of that event into a promotion video for that business. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, and it was great. And we produced some wonderful videos, but I had one problem. And that was that I didn't know how to get enough enthusiasm and viewership of my videos to make it worthwhile for the customers who I was doing videos for. And I felt a little bit like a bit of a fake, because I was promising this, and this, and I wasn't delivering. So I decided to research how to get better exposure on digital workspace. And of course I did what everybody else does. I went onto YouTube and I looked at that video and looked at this video, and then I subscribed to this thing that this guy suggested I subscribe to, and it didn't turn out to work so well. And then I paid for this, which also, you know, you get a great degree of success, but you do feel that you're banging your head against the wall. And then I came across a course by the name of Elite Inc., run by a chap by the name of Neil Milan, the founder of the course. And he said something in his sort of sales pitch, which I watched on YouTube, that made sense to me. He'd already been down this same path that I was going down now, getting totally frustrated and moving from one thing to the other. He'd done that many years ago, and he'd negotiated it and come out the other end knowing how to do this thing. And it sort of made sense to me to utilize his experience. So I took the course. It's a very intensive course. It lasts for 6 months. But I was joining a man who knew all the pitfalls that I needed to avoid. And one foul move, I sidestepped all the disappointments that I would have garnered along my route. And also, he introduced me to wonderful people like Neil Patel and Russell Brunson, who are such strengths in the areas I needed strength in. And he also has his own team of experts who are there at my disposal. And I learned a load. I learned lots, far more than I intended learning and far more than I would have liked to learn. But I realized that digital marketing is a bit like being a doctor for just one organ of someone's body. You need to know the whole body to make it really work for you. You can't just know about the liver, for example. You need to know everything, because it all works together, and it should work together if you're doing it properly. So I arrived at a point where I had a video production company, Traveling Easel, and a load of experience or information about how to digitally market the same business. And of course, as I was going through the course, my mind just went to video production companies. So it makes sense that I should apply what I know into the video production world. And I came up with a concept I call the 6-goal strategy. And it goes a bit like this. The first part of the exercise is to give the impression and put it out there that you've established. And you do this by establishing a really well, finely tuned audience and saturating them with paid advertising in Facebook marketing, Google marketing, and other forms which I'll come back to later. And by doing this, people will see you continuously in their stream. And even though they don't perhaps read your thing, your advert or your post, they become aware of you. The second part of the exercise is competency. People now, having sort of been introduced to you, need to know that you're competent. And in the video world, it's really easy, because all you've got to do is produce a really great video, which of course you're very capable of doing, and marketing it. And in the same way through Facebook and Google channels and other channels. The third part of the exercise is to show people that you're trustworthy. Now, it would be easy to skip over the third part, because it isn't anything unusual, it isn't anything different, but it's basically doing the first part, established, and the second part, competency, 2 or 3 times. If I tell you a story, it's great. If I tell you the same story word for word again, then it means you're credible. And if I tell you that same story 3 times, then it means that it's probably true. So it's about warming your audience. The fourth section is what I call likable. Your audience now knows you're established. They know that you're competent. What we need from them now is for them to like us. And we do that by producing something of value to them and giving it to them for free. And this could be in any format. For example, you could produce a video showing them how to produce their own videos. And this, whilst it sounds sort of counterproductive, is a great way of showing your integrity. So we now have a situation where we have a customer who thinks we're established, believes we're established, a customer who believes we're competent, a customer who believes we're trustworthy, and a customer who believes we're likable. Fantastic. And now, and only now at this point, can we introduce him to the fifth part, which is to present them with a special offer, a really amazing special offer, and an offer that they can't refuse. And in this offer, we're not really there to make money. We're there to gather, to gain a customer, because customers in this market are going to need you more than once. And as time goes by, it's going to exponentially increase. So we're not really there to make money from this. We're there to create a customer relationship. The sixth part of this process is the upsell. We do want to make some money, and we do want to make it worth our while. So while we've just offered them a special offer, if they take up the special offer, we say people that have taken up this offer before have often needed a second video of this type. And we can offer it to you at an incredibly reduced rate if we can do them both on the same set, and save ourselves the time of going out there again and re-establishing. So that's what the upsell is all about. So instead of perhaps selling a $50,000 video, we now are selling a $50,000 plus $20,000 video. We're now making a little bit of money for ourselves, which is great. But the whole process that we're talking about would normally take about 3 months. It's at this point that I need to digress a little, because there's something I need to tell you. I'm 63. I'm an artist, and I love painting, and I love creating. I love making videos. And I don't want to become a full-time digital marketer. It's not on my bucket list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to limit the amount of customers that I take on to 2. And I do this really because the significance of this skill that I've developed is it's my second biggest thrill. You know, my first biggest thrill was discovering that I could paint, and now I discover I can market. And you know, whilst I don't want to become a full-time marketer, I would like to pass on the legacy, pass on the expertise that I've gained in this area. And so I'm going to limit what I do to 2 customers. So what do you get? You get a campaign on being established. You get a campaign on being competent. You get a campaign on being trustworthy. You get a campaign on being likable. We then, with a warm audience, approach them with a really fantastic offer. We snag the offer and we offer an upsell. And that we'll do over a 3-month period. And it's such a powerful system that I've created with the help of Neil Milan and his crowd, that I'm happy that if I don't produce at least 12 solid leads over the 3-month period, that any fees that we may have negotiated are returned to you. And that means to you that there is absolutely no risk involved in embarking on the project. So what I'd like you to do is to click on the button in the description column, and it'll take you to my diary, and we'll book a little Zoom meeting and we chat about it and to see if we have enough synergy to go forward from there. So I'm looking forward to hearing your voice on our Zoom call. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve Mandy.